Hey, good morning, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as our other streaming avenues. Wow, Week 12 in the National Football League, where they play for pay. Um, this will be an interesting show. Me and Dwayne kind of had a conversation, and it's always interesting. Me and Dwayne actually been talking about sports together since we were kids, and it's funny that a lot of times we're always on the same page with our thoughts when it comes to these sports franchises and these leagues, um, with what be going on. What's up, Wayne?
Hold on 1 second, bro. I'm hearing you. I didn't hear anything you said. It all came garbled. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm having a hard time hearing you. But it's tough to get ready for this NFL Sunday, man, with everything that's going on. I know we're gonna get into these games because that's what we do. But I just think with everything that's going on with the exploding numbers in COVID, and you see sporting events all over getting canceled. You see what happened with the Ravens and the Steelers, which affected the Cowboys-Raven game. And now you got that situation with Denver. They're actually going to play an NFL game today with no quarterbacks, emergency quarterbacks. Like, I think it's very crazy that the NFL is not shutting that game down today. I think it's careless. I think it's reckless. And I think someone can get hurt. And we want to avoid that, man. Like, I'm not going to blame the Saints for just blitzing every down when you got guys that never played quarterback before. Like, I don't know. I think it's crazy.
well, Dwayne, let people in the audience that may not understand what, because of COVID, what the coach of the Eagles, Doug Peterson, did, what he did in the summer.
In the summertime, which I thought was a brilliant move by Doug Peterson, he signed Josh McCown just to be his quarantine quarterback. So what that meant was he stayed off site, he stayed at home, he went to all the meetings via Zoom, he stayed in shape himself, working out, just in case a situation like today happened with the Broncos. They could have added him to the roster, flew him out to wherever the game was, and he could have played. Now you got Denver talking about two guys that potentially they're going to put under center that played quarterback like at high school. Like, I just don't understand how the NFL is going to let something like that go down. It's kind of reckless. And then you wonder why teams didn't have quarantine quarterbacks. We know the quarterback get a lot of credit and he get a lot of blame, but the quarterback is the most important person on the NFL football team, especially offensively, and it's going to look crazy in that Denver Saints game. And I don't think Las Vegas should be taking money on that game. I mean, how do you take money on that game, man? It's crazy.
What about the Las Vegas football team? Once again, they lost a draft pick, got heavily fined. And this has
These
been going on all year. These teams are getting fined for not wearing masks, and it's
got to
like
wear
they're
masks,
not
man.
even trying to wear masks. Like sometimes a player get off the field. For those that don't know, you have to wear a mask on the sidelines now. Player get off the field, take off your helmet. You may forget for a second, but at least attempt to wear a mask. Because some of these, John Gruden, before they took the pick the first time, didn't wear a mask. Period.
Yeah.
And
Well, I want to say that the Lions and the Texans and the Cowboys and the Washington football team, those 4 teams did a great job on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, despite the fact that the Cowboys lost and they're terrible. But those 4 teams did a good job making sure they put masks on when they were on the sidelines. You saw it. It's easy. They had the same type of mask that you and I wear when we go to the supermarket. Or I just went to Dunkin' Donuts and got me an extra large tea because I'm ready for this show and I'm excited. And, again, it's a little. And then before people start talking about, I don't feel good about the NFL because the Cowboys is 3-8. This is bigger than the game, man. It's about safety. We have a problem in this country. This second wave is exploding, man. It's exploding. You got college games being canceled. You got college basketball games being canceled. I love sports.
hospital rooms are
Everybody that
being
knows me knows that I
hosp-
love sports for my entertainment.
hospital rooms are being doubled and tripled up with COVID patients, and that's something that wasn't happening at first. You might have just had 1 or 2 people that may have COVID in a room. Now they're being tripled and quadrupled up. You may have a room that's big enough for 6 patients, and you may have 6 people with COVID per room. I mean, the hospitals are hemorrhaging money right now, with whether people realize it or not. And like Dwayne said, that the second wave was warned, and it's like nobody's taking it serious enough, or nobody's considering the next person's health with social distancing. So we got these games, Dwayne.
I'm having a hard time hearing you, man. It's all garble. But, we're going to make it through this. You know what I mean? So I say let's just get right into the action, man. First game, and I'm going to disconnect these headsets and see if I can get a better connection. But the first game we got today is the Miami Dolphins and New York Jets. I was very disappointed in the Dolphins last week. That's our team that we've adopted, so to speak, this year. Very disappointed. Oh, that's beautiful. Did you do something different? Because I hear you clear now. Yeah, this is the team that we adopted. It's on in the New York market. There'll be no Tua, so it's Fitzmagic. And coaches just keep getting fired all around the NFL except for Adam Gase. I don't get it. This man is
I think he might got secret tapes on the Johnson family. He must got secret files, but I know a lot of people got mad at Woody Johnson saying he didn't know what he was talking about. But I'm starting to think that his family is more inept than him, because Woody would have fired him if Woody was not the ambassador right now. Woody Johnson would have fired him. Woody Johnson would have stood in front of that New York media and at least tried to come up with some answers. And it's really sad that the New York sports landscape right now it's not looking good. Luckily,
No.
the Mets just got new ownership. The Knicks are trying to do something. The Yankees been consistent, but most Yankee fans are getting tired of the Steinbrenner boys. But honestly, the Jets is really like the laughing stock of the league, and it's time for this coach to go. Like, what does he have on them?
And it's crazy. You got,
Excuse me.
bless you, brother.
Thank you.
I hate to go after a media type, but I will. You got Quentin about to sneeze again, so I got it from here. You got a guy, Manish Mehta, from the Daily News, that's stalking the general manager of the Jets' kid. Talking about your kid is eating ice cream out of the Phillies cup hat right now. Give me the inside scoop. And I'm like, who is this guy? Like, who is he? You stalking out Joe Douglas's kids, Manish Mehta? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Okay? So I like the Dolphins today, and I like the Dolphins to roll today. I like the Dolphins big. At MetLife, I think they're just going to go ahead and take out the Jets. And you
Yeah.
have one of those rare Sundays that, you got both New York teams playing at 1 o'clock today. But who you like in that Dolphins
Oh,
Jets?
definitely the Dolphins. I mean, Flores gets his team back on track. They continue doing what they're doing. I think some of the players might have been peeking at the Texans game on Thanksgiving, realizing that pick belongs to that franchise. But I think that the Dolphins just continue doing what they're doing, man. They just, their program is so much ahead of time, and it goes back to what you said about the coaches being fired. Dwayne been saying, and I second what Dwayne been saying. Flores is the best Belichick disciple out of all of them.
At
The
all?
rest of the rest of them guys come around with this arrogance, like they think they earn something. If you ever listen to Flores and watch his style of how he deals with his team, it's totally opposite from somebody who's arrogant or acts like they want a bunch of championships. So I really like Flores a lot. I like what he's doing. I like, me and Dwayne always been talking about it since our draft show. The program that he's been building down in Miami, it's just a joy to watch as a football fan. Even if you're not a football fan of that team,
Right.
you really respect when you can sit back and watch a guy build a program.
Absolutely. And sometimes along the way you take a little step back like they did last week. But I think they bounced back. Now we were talking about New York and how things is happening in New York. The Giants have a chance today in the Bengals game to take a stranglehold of the NFC East. As crazy as that sounds, if they win today, the Giants will be in first place in the NFC East. And without Joe Burrow, I think they beat the Bengals, and I think they take over first place in the NFC East today.
Um, let's go New York Football Giants. I'm rooting for the Giants today. I got a lot of different reasons why I'm rooting for the Giants, but one of the things that's key with the Giants, I got to talk about their internal turmoil because it was said some stuff about Garrett and Joe Judge not agreeing. I think that Joe Judge is making a mistake not agreeing with Garrett because if you look at the last couple of weeks, the quarterback has been very, very judicious with not giving up that football. And that's Garrett continue preaching about keeping the ball, not turning the ball over. And it's like, Joe Judge, stop with the control stuff. Let your coaches coach. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with the Belichick disciples is that they don't understand that some of these coaches got more coaching experience than them in their particular area. And I
Well, I
think
think
that's
that
what hold on, Ed. I think that's where Garrett is strong. I think Garrett is a very good quarterback and offensive coordinator coach.
I think that's a threat, actually. Like, when you got a guy who had for all points and purposes, to me, I think Jason Garrett's a pretty good coach. You know, Jason Garrett's a good coach, man. The Cowboys, the offense, they put up some big numbers. He did wonders with Dak. And for all points and purposes, for whatever you want to say, you know, they could score under them, and he would be he would be a great mentor to Daniel Jones. So and everybody knows when Daniel Jones is not turning the ball over, he's a decent quarterback when he's not turning the ball over. You can see that he has the skill set to succeed. His big problem is turnovers. And if Jason Garrett is coming in and he's preaching the mantra to not turn the ball over, not turn the ball over, not turn the ball over, and and Daniel Jones is listening, that's a good thing. And like you said before, before that, and Dwayne said this all the time, even when we were coaching in Pop Warner, and Dwayne was the head coach, he was like, he lets his coaches coach. You let your coaches coach. You put your coaches on the staff for a reason because you have faith and confidence that they know what they're doing. So, I just think that, Joe Judge should just let his, coaches coach, go from there because right now they're playing for a playoff spot, while still in the running for a top 5, top 10 draft pick. So it's like you really have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Right.
So and that's where I'm at with with that situation. It's just like you're in such an enviable situation. It's not even funny. Where
True.
you can have a losing record and still pick up a top 5 draft pick. That's how crazy 2020 is.
It's true.
No, that's how crazy that NFC East is.
Well,
You
yeah.
know, where you clearly got fan bases rooting for their teams to get a top 5 pick just so they can get some draft capital.
What Joe Judge has to realize, man, he got good pedigree, being under Belichick, and being under Nick Saban. But what he has to understand is you're neither of those men. Like, you can't act like Belichick and Nick Saban in your first year, man. Like, relax yourself. Like, he's done a good job, but come on, man, Q. It's like you was talking about those Belichick assistants. They just think they coming in and they gonna be like him. It don't work that way, man.
It's true.
Hey, just look at it. But just look at it, and I know y'all laughed at it the first time I seen it as well. 20-something years later, Belichick is doing a Subway commercial.
Yeah.
That's telling you the man realized that his image of being cranky or whatever or not pleasant, he may not agree with it, but he wants to change it because the guy would have never did a Subway commercial years ago.
Yeah, I was surprised. When I saw that, I was just like, when it was almost like when the Brady Belichick marriage ended. It was almost like now I can be free and I can be me and I don't have to wear cut off hoodies anymore.
No, you're right, Ed. You're right.
Yeah.
So Q, you like the Bengals today?
No, I like the New York Football Giants doing what they do, taking a strong hold of that NFC East, making sure that the team on the bottom stays on the bottom. I'm Team Tank all the way when it comes to a certain franchise.
So. We want your draft, man.
I'm sad that Burrow can't play though, man, because I like watching him. He's a good.
One of the things, and I'm glad you brought that up. We don't use our platform to ever attack coaches or other people in the media. Well, other people in the media, we're going to criticize coaches. But I don't know what the great Charles Robinson was talking about. We're saying Cincinnati did Burrow a disservice by starting him. I didn't get that. I mean,
I don't get any of these guys.
The guy was having a great rookie year. And actually, if you look at Burrow, he shocked me all year long. He's a lot better than I thought he was. Yeah. And he just happened to get rolled up on. I mean, football, if a quarterback is going to be in the league 15 years, he's going to be hurt at least one of those years. That's just going to happen. That's par for the course.
Yeah, man. They always say this, man. The great Nick Moody from Florida State said, if you play football, you're gonna get hurt. he's like, you can't play this game if you don't expect to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. Like something. You're going to break, bend, pull, bruise something. Like I like seeing Burrow play. He was like I was like, man, I'm watching Bengals games because he's making it exciting.
Absolutely.
That's the best quarterback they had since probably. I'll be honest, probably Ken Anderson.
No. Carson was good. They destroyed him.
Yeah, Carson was good, but
they destroyed him. Yeah, he had Ocho and T.O. to deal with for a year. That'll destroy anybody. Remember the man said, "I'd rather retire than play for this franchise."
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had Corey Dillon too for a little while too.
He did.
Yeah, man. Shit.
So next up, you got Arizona Cardinals at the New England Patriots. I just think the Cardinals are going to win that one. I know they're coming to the East Coast or whatever. I don't know with this Patriot team, man. Like, Cam still don't seem like a fit to me with this organization. Kyler Murray is balling, as we all know. Tough break. No Larry Fitzgerald today due to COVID. He's on a COVID reserve list. But I just think the Cardinals will be too much today for the Patriots.
Well, the Patriots have, like you said, Dwayne, the Patriots have they have a fit at quarterback. Like they have a specific guy that they like at quarterback. That's why, like you just said, the Cam fit always seemed kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, just not even skills wise, just personality wise. Like, and as long as Belichick is up there, they're always gonna have a template for what kind of guys they like. Like Belichick likes guys that like lunch pail guys that come in, do their job, don't talk that much and aren't that flamboyant. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even when Randy Moss came there, before that, he was probably one of the most kind of flamboyant, like divisive guys. But when he got there, he just, fell in line and did what he had to do. And I'm not saying Cam isn't doing the same, but I just think he's a square peg in a round hole up there. And like, especially for what they want to do. And like, it's painful to watch their games. Like, I do not like watching their games at all because it's like, not saying it's boring football, but it's just like Cam run right, Cam run left, Cam in the middle, dump off to James White or whoever, and then you might try to get it to, whichever wide receiver, whichever third string wide receiver you got him. And it's just bad. Yeah. So I'm just going on this one. Like you said, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals on the same thing because they're just a better team right now.
Absolutely.
Creek, we got your voice, but we don't have your face, Creek.
Yeah, y'all don't want to see me pooping, so.
No, we don't want to see that.
No. Hey, I just got a couple things about New England, which is interesting. I think Arizona actually blows them out today.
Yes.
One thing about the coach is usually Belichick is ahead of the curve. Belichick was the first guy we seen not caring about draft picks. Then he was the first guy we saw stockpiling draft picks. Now, which is interesting, you don't kind of know where Belichick is going with this franchise. He's always ahead of the curve when it comes to certain things when it coaching and personnel. So it's interesting to watch what they're trying to do in New England. Like Creek said, they really never had the big possession receivers. They always has these scat guys who are great when it comes to running the in and out routes across the middle. But I just don't understand the New England franchise. I really, it's just going to be a treat to watch if Belichick could get them back to where they were because you don't know where they're going. They're not really trying to stockpile picks. They're not. Some people said they were intentionally tanking. They had the most players opt out, which I don't think that Belichick told these players to opt out, like people tried to insinuate. It's just interesting what they're doing in New England.
What's their record?
They're 4-6.
Arizona definitely will probably destroy them in the first half. Just destroy them. Jump on them early.
Well, I'm gonna ask y'all: is Cam done? Or is he just not in the right?
So.
I think he's done, man. Because it's like he's not. When I see him play, it's like what was his MVP season? Like 2015. Yeah. That MVP season, I'm talking about. He's flinging it everywhere, flinging it, running it. Looking dominant. And then I see him, and sometimes he can't complete like a 5-6 yard pass. Like, like I'm just like, this is painful to watch, man. Like, and I don't think he's a fit anywhere. Like, he looks slow when he runs, and like he just looks terrible when he passes. And then it's like he keeps telling people he got to play better, but it's almost like when we watch Any Given Sunday, and then like and then towards the end, when Cap Rooney realizes that he ain't got it no more, he throws that pass to Bill Bellamy, and he doesn't get there, and he's like, "Damn, we got to put in Beeman because I don't got it, because I don't have it." And to be honest, at 4-6, I think Belichick is kind of trying to stay pat and pick up a guy like Zach Wilson from BYU, which might fall in that range, man. You might possibly get a BYU.
We open for business.
Or a Trey,
we open at that
we open for business.
Or
Zach Wilson call,
or Trey Lance, or somebody. You can get one of them QBs. And to me, I think Zach Wilson is a Patriot style quarterback. Like this, he's their template.
We want your draft. But I think part of the problem is, man, and I'm just going to be candid. I don't think the NFL ever protected Cam Newton. They protect other quarterbacks. They don't protect him, man, because he was big and strong and he would run. If you would see some of the hits Cam was taking, there was never any flags. But if you let a Pat Mahomes, you let a Tom Brady, you let Aaron Rodgers take some of the hits that Cam has taken in his career, there've been flags all over the place. So I just think physically his body is just not where it needs to be effective in the NFL.
Yeah. And you see that breakdown, that decline came quick, man.
And it's tough because I love Cam, man. He's fun to watch. He's always been fun to watch, but they just never protected him, man. They never protected him.
Yeah. And that's quarterbacks, man. The quarterback, you can see it, man. The quarterbacks decline.
The refs didn't even protect him.
Hard, man. Like it's like you can see it the drop over like almost the season sometimes. You be like, man, like he just ain't got it no more.
It happens quick.
Yeah. But we all I think I could speak for all of us all of us on here when we could all agree and say we all like Cam.
Love him.
As a player, you know what I'm saying? And as a person, but you can see the decline, man. Like shoot, even AP looked better this year. I saw AP the other day. I'm like, woo! I'm like, he pulled a couple of runs out of his back pocket.
Yeah.
I was like, shoot. But that's how it is, man.
I forgot AP was even playing.
Yeah, man. He showed up.
He reminded people last week.
He did. Thursday, yeah.
A lot of people on Thanksgiving, he still got a little something.
What's the next game, Dwayne?
Next game we have is the 4-7 Panthers versus the 4-6 Vikings.
Who's starting for the Panthers, PJ or?
They're saying that Teddy should start. I think they're doing it at game time, but it looks like he's going to go out there again like he did last week in pregame and see if he's good to go. I like the Panthers today. I mean, the Vikings last Sunday let the Cowboys beat them, which was surprising for me, even as a Cowboy fan. And as a Cowboy fan, I wasn't happy with that win. I'm Team Tank because I want that top 5 pick and I want to trade it, get somebody's draft. But I like the Panthers today. I like the Panthers today. I think, not trying to be funny, Dalvin Cook has been having a great year. Cowboys beat him up last week. He took some shots. So I'm interested to see how he rebounds from that physical game this week against the Panthers.
I gotta mess with the Panthers with Matt Rule. Like I said, him drafting all defense this year. They're gonna be a strong team next year. They got confidence. The McCaffrey thing is interesting because it just goes to show that it's not that I think that running back shouldn't get paid. I just think that you put so much on these type of players that the wear and tear of the NFL just destroys them. Definitely now these players just don't have that mindset of running out of bounds sometimes when you know you're about to get your head knocked off. They just like to get hit, and after a couple of years in the league, you just start getting wear on, and then injuries start to pile on. So I'm not worried about the Panthers offense because for some reason they seem to be able to muster up enough points. And I just don't think that Minnesota is always a tricky team. Minnesota offensively got all the weapons in the world, but their offensive line is a little shaky if you blitz them. And their defense is not what their defense used to be. Donnell Hunter ain't even there. And it's destroying their team because they really moved on for Everson Griffin and expected Hunter to be the bell cow guy, and he's just not there. And it's hurting what they're trying to do. Like Minnesota, Zimmer drafted a bunch of young guys in their secondary, so it'll probably be 2 years before they're back to what they need to be if the Wilfies decide to stay with Coach Zim. So I'm going with Carolina.
I like Carolina in this game too. I primarily watch the Vikings just for Dalvin Cook, just for him, not only because I'm a Florida State fan, but I just like him as an athlete and running back. And just piggybacking on your statement, Q. You're right about the running backs, man. Like, it's like, I never want to devalue running backs because I love running backs. I love them. But it's like, it just goes to show you, why the 49ers really didn't give Mostert big money. It's like, you would have gave him big money. He's been out for half the season. And like, he's great when he's in. But then, as McCaffrey, he's great when he's in. But then it's like, the position for, like, on that position, you get hit. There's two positions where you get hit every single play. That's offensive line and running back. You get hit every single play. So, it's just like, your value as a running back is less because you're easily replaceable. It's like, okay, you get hit, you can just put somebody in there to hold, a whole pack, and we'll just throw the ball more. Or, the 49ers, we seem to find 3 or 4 running backs every year. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mostert gets hurt. We had Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson gets hurt. We got McKinnon. McKinnon gets hurt. We had Hasty. And it's just like, I just don't see the value in giving, a running back. How much they giving McCaffrey? Like 12 or $13 million a season? Like, and like he's missed pretty much 80% of the season this year in his first year of the big contract. So it's like damn. And he giving Teddy Bridgewater $20 million a season, and he's been out. And it's like, whew, you'd be better off just paying PJ a quarter of that and getting a running back off the street. And keep building on your defense.
Yes, it's a tough situation we talking about when we talk about that running back side, man. That's why we always mess with Deshaun about his Giants. Well, no, he said he's not a Giant fan. Dwayne, you muted your mic?
My bad. I was looking at that Nate Robinson knockout and I couldn't stop laughing. Jesus.
Why was he doing that last night, man?
I don't know what Nate was thinking, man.
He got knocked out by a YouTuber.
Nate fell into the trap that, and for those that don't know, I mean, we're laughing about it.
45.
But Nate Robinson is one of those rare athletes that's good in every sport he's ever played.
Not boxing.
And I think he thought that he could step into the ring, and it just goes to show that he probably does have decent boxing skills, but
I didn't see him. He didn't have no form.
He stuck that chin out there, and
bro, it was bad when he got knocked out the first time, right? Yeah. And then he tried to tackle the Cody Paul dude, and they said Cody Paul or whatever his name, Jake Paul, whatever. He landed 8 punches and had 2 or 3 knockouts. And talk about when Nate, the second one, when Nate was flat and his arms was to his side, and I was like, oh my God, he's dead. I was like, he's dead. Shout out to my boy.
I don't think I'm gonna do that no more. He might as well go. He needs to just go on over to China and play ball.
That's it. Get hooked up with Stephon
Marbury.
Oh, who we at, Dwayne?
Well, Creek, who you like, man? The Panthers or the Vikings?
I'm gonna go Panthers. The Vikings let me down last week.
They did let y'all all down last week. They let me down last week. I'm Team Tank. Next 1 o'clock is it's the 7-3 Browns versus the 1-9 Jaguars. I like the Browns in this one.
The Jaguars can't get to 4 wins this year, so they might as well just keep doing what they're doing and try to do team tank for Lawrence. Because I know they can't get to 4 wins quicker than the other team that I root for. So I got to go with the Browns. The Browns, like I say, those of us that have been watching them, is that the Browns will get to the playoffs this year and get an early exit, and then next year they're going to have somebody there that's going to challenge Baker Mayfield, because I don't know what happened to him. I've never been a Baker Mayfield fan, but he is nowhere near as good as he was. Even his rookie year, he's digressed.
Let's say this, Q. he never progressed. To be honest, like if we're gonna be honest, his first season, yeah, it was whatever. But I never really liked Baker Mayfield as like I never really trusted Big Ten quarterback. I mean, not Big Ten, Big 12 quarterbacks, because if you look at the track record of Big 12 quarterbacks, especially from Oklahoma, you know what I'm saying? The best quarterback out of Oklahoma, the two best quarterbacks ever out of Oklahoma have been Troy Aikman, and because I count Troy Aikman as an Oklahoma quarterback too, because he was there for a little bit, and Kyler Murray. Outside of that, what quarterback from the Big 12 has ever really been good in the NFL? You know what I'm saying? Like, because that conference is known for no defense, all offense, and like outside of Oklahoma and when Nebraska was in there in Texas, you know what I'm saying? They, and maybe Texas A&M, no other teams are really that good. So I just think, if you can't progress and you got all the weapons, you got a great line, you had Odell and Jarvis Landry and Kareem Hunt, and you still can't do your job, it's time. It's time for them to find another quarterback, man. I don't think it's the coach.
To me, year 3 lets you know what you have. Because first year rookie, there's not a whole lot of film on them. Everybody gets their shit off in the first year. Then the second year, but year 3 tells me what the quarterback really is. That's how I always look at it.
Absolutely.
Even players like take Fitzpatrick. He comes into a new system. He does well that first year, and then after that, it's a decline. Because they're just not used to him in that system. But definitely with rookies, year 3 always tells me what they are, because they get their shit off the first year, but again, because they ain't really have film on them, and after that, it all goes downhill. But I never liked the Baker pick, and I was never sold on him before. Same thing with Bradford. I mean, I could see year 1, he ain't gonna be the guy, but they were still believing, and I think they're seeing the way I see things now.
Bradford was the NFL's version of Billy the Kid, because he robbed a lot of franchises.
But you know what? That's what he would do. He would have.
Darnold too. Actually, I don't see that.
He would no. What's his name would have a what's his name? Bradford would have a tease season. He would start off hot. He'd be like, "Oh man, this guy is like." Woof, then he would either just slump or get hurt.
He parlayed the NFL for 3 big contracts.
3 big deals, man. 3 big ones.
He was good
at what was they thinking?
I don't know.
It's just like at least be able to bring the franchise something. Like even Michael Vick, at the end of the day, he made $200 million deals, but at least Michael Vick brought excitement to your franchise when he was playing, and made a lot of money for your franchise with endorsements and the experience. So, and I ain't got no choice but to agree with you. But them Oklahoma quarterbacks, you got a lot. They leave a lot to be desired, man.
Yeah.
Well, some of them will win the Heisman and don't even play in the NFL. Who is it? Jason White.
Jason White,
man, it was terrible. I think they made him a tight end. Like when he's trying a Heisman quarterback, they say you're a tight end.
I don't remember him. I don't remember him throwing an NFL pass.
Nope.
I just don't trust Big 10, Big 12 quarterbacks. If you want a quarterback, you got to go to like I don't know, man. Like I just say the Big 12 and the Pac-10.
I don't like Big 10 ones either.
That Pac-10 ain't it for quarterbacks, man.
So I'm gonna take the Browns to win that game, just because of the talent they got on the field.
Absolutely.
A late breaking report: Thielen is out today versus the Panthers.
Well, there you go.
He's on.
I already knew that.
He's on the COVID list. Oh, you did? Yeah, I didn't see that.
What?
Yeah,
Dwayne,
I had him on fantasy.
Real quick, Dwayne, I saw from your beginning statement, man. I think they should. I don't know why they playing these games right now.
Man, they need to take a little break, man.
Like you just see a whole team, like the 49ers, they got to play. They might be playing in Arizona because like it's a mandatory lockdown in Santa Clara, like for 2 weeks. I mean, I'm sorry, 3 weeks. So I'm like, why are they even? Why are they even playing right now?
They need to suspend it for a little bit, man. Even if they
Yeah.
do it for 2 weeks, it's built into the system. They do it for 2 weeks. You got the Super Bowl President Day weekend, which will be great for everybody because they ain't got to worry about work the next day. Damn, Kay Adams is on, but I'm gonna stay on mission. Next game is the game I'm looking forward to the most today. The Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts both come in at 7-3. I like the Colts at home, man. I know Jonathan Taylor ain't playing because he on the COVID list, but they got some other running backs that should be able to step in. So I like the Colts. I like Matt Eberflus's defense today against the Titans.
Couple weeks ago, I seen these two teams have a game on that Thursday night that was interesting, real physical. I think the Colts actually surprised me because they were actually to handle Tennessee's physicality on the offensive end, and Rivers. I don't know if people been watching him the last couple weeks, but Rivers been going into his youth bag. Long as he don't turn the football over, Rivers is going to put his team in a position to win. Dwayne, you already know how we feel about the defensive coordinator. I don't know about Tennessee. I think Tennessee is starting to come back to the pack a little bit. So I got to take the Colts at home.
I like the Colts. Like I said, like I agree with Q. They may be coming back to earth a little bit. Where it might be out. But who I like on the Colts, I like Michael Pittman Jr. Man.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
The last couple of games, he's been kind of getting his footing. I thought, when I saw him in USC, I was like, oh, he looked a little slow-footed, but I'm watching him now. I'm like, hey, he's got number one traits, man. I saw him catch that ball and take off.
I picked him up in fantasy.
Yeah, that was a good pickup, Creek. He's so big, man. Like, once he gets moving and once he gets going, on those short little drag routes, man, he looks great. He's starting to become kind of a security blanket for Phillip Rivers, man, because Phillip Rivers isn't really a deep thrower like that no more. So you got to get those. You got to get the ball, those passes to those targets over the middle to those big guys. So I expect Pittman to have a good game, have a third straight good game, and I expect the Colts to win. So like them.
Man, roll tide roll. If Henry gets 25 touches, I'm going with the Titans.
I like that.
But they got to run the ball.
They do got to run it. I still don't trust Tannehill. I don't know how they paid him that much money.
No.
It's crazy to me that they gave that man that much money. But as Q said, Billy the Kid strikes again. It's his sidekick. You know what I mean?
It's funny because I can imagine what the coach says to Tannehill because they got running backs, they got great tight ends in Tennessee, and the receivers are excellent. Those top three receivers, really, Tannehill just has to not turn the ball over, as we would say. Don't drive the bus and don't make any turns, and just keep driving straight. But it's interesting how they lose. I mean, like Deshaun said, the key for them is just being consistent with the run because this guy is not only big and fast, DBs is not trying to tackle him.
Yeah, don't nobody trying to. They're not trying to come up on him.
That's a business. That's a business.
On Henry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
he breaks through that second level. It's not many corners and safeties that's trying to step in the way of that Mack truck. Bro.
And I was always say this for our buddy Danny Taylor, who's a Titans fan. I always ask guys, I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna ask you, Deshaun, is he better than Eddie George?
You know what? I think he's more of a physical dominator than Eddie George. Like I'm talking about in terms of just pure, like, walk off the bus, like, damn, like this, and we got to tackle this MF for, like, you know.
Josh Norman will agree with you.
Eddie George was.
He gave Eddie. Just remember, Eddie gave us 10 straight years with over 1,000 yards.
I know, but Eddie George didn't play. He didn't play big like that. Like he was more like he was shiftier to me. But like Henry, man, is like in the old school NFL, Henry would have been a problem because he would have got the ball like 30, 35 times. You know what I'm saying? They would have force fed him. He would have had 2,000-yard seasons all the time. So I'm just looking at it like I think they're both competent players, but I think Henry is more of like a guy like, hey, I don't want to tackle this dude for like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm a corner or safety or even linebacker, I'm just like, man, I hope they get his ass at the beginning of the line because I don't want to tackle this guy. You know, Eddie George.
Henry is what Giants fans wanted Brandon Jacobs to be.
Exactly. There you go. Like
just for reference, those in the chat. Those in the chat, when you get a chance, just go on YouTube and watch the game when the Ravens played the Titans and Ray Lewis hit Eddie George. And Ray Lewis, for the record, Ray Lewis is much smaller than Eddie George is.
Yeah.
Just, that's why I always make that reference because after that hit, Eddie George was never the same.
All right, put it like this: if you had to tackle somebody, if they gave you like $600 or not even that, say they said, all right, we're gonna give you $10,000 to take a hit from Eddie George or Henry, who you gonna pick?
Well, neither.
Me,
if you had to pick somebody.
Me even thinking about doing it is I know that I'm gonna go at their legs and I know both of them gonna jump right over me. So because if you try to tackle one high, you're gonna be sitting there playing it like Nate Robinson was on that canvas last night.
Look, man, they got the mini version of Alabama right now with Najee Harris. It's the same size, just a little bit faster.
He's not as big, but he's
mini
strong.
version.
yeah, you're right. He mini version. So I'll ask y'all this: would you rather do a nutcracker drill with Derrick Henry or do one round with Mike Tyson?
I could run from Mike Tyson.
That's tough. I mean, Derrick Henry's just a big man.
Like last night, I could pull a Roy Jones and just run around Mike Tyson and grab his ass for 2 minutes and be like, listen.
Well, ask Roy's ribs about that today. Ask Roy's ribs.
That's because Roy was trying to fight for a couple of rounds. He was trying to fight for a couple of rounds.
Yeah, I saw a Kevin Harvick fan put up that Mark Andrews tested positive. Yeah, they just showed that on game day morning as well. And it's tough for him because he's a type 1 diabetic. He got to be very careful with COVID. He has to be very careful.
My whole fantasy team is that Steelers Ravens game needs to just not happen.
This is what I'm saying. Put that right
now it's
up
on
there
Tuesday.
Put that
it's
right
funny.
Up there with
It's funny because
Saints. These games.
I seen a couple Steelers players criticize the Ravens, and then they got affected with the couple of their players got affected with COVID. Connor, which it was like Dwayne said, he needs to be careful because he probably still is on medication from surviving from cancer.
Yeah,
but it comes to the fact that these guys shouldn't be playing. The NFL should quickly take just 2 weeks off to regroup and just start back over in 2 weeks.
You know what they're doing wrong though, too, man? Is like the NBA kind of had the blueprint of it because they said, listen, we're gonna have games, but we're gonna have bubbles, and nobody's allowed to come in or out unless you're either part of the team or whatever. Now the NFL is trying to, play games and have a business as usual model and say, hey man, you go home, you be with your family, you do whatever. If you're gonna have this type of, if you're gonna play in this pandemic, you can't let jokers leave. They should be like, listen, everybody comes in, everybody who's gonna play or who opts in has to stay at the team facility or a team mandated hotel. Nobody can leave. Everybody has to be like that. But messed up and not doing it like that.
We just morphed into La La Land because the NFL has just denied the Broncos the right to use the quarterback coaches, the quarterback Calabrese. They were trying to start him, and Schefter just reported that the NFL denied it. I mean,
wait. So what? So they can't do what?
They were trying to use their
quarterback
coach to start
quarterback coach to play today.
To play in the game?
They have no quarterbacks.
Oh my God! Well, this is called Kaepernick, man. This is called Colin. He ready to play.
You got to press the protocol. He ain't enough time.
Ain't enough time.
There's a COVID protocol
for today.
Yeah.
That's why I think the NFL should have shut it down.
So who's playing quarterback?
They got two people that's going to potentially try. Hinton going to try. And they said they may put Jerry Jeudy there for a little while.
Call Tom Tupa. Where's Tom Tupa
at? They were quarterbacks.
Yeah, they were quarterbacks. So that's what they're trying to do. But I just think the NFL is short-sighted on this one. They should have let them do something, man. But it's going to be a crazy game.
You remember Tom Tupa played in the game and completed some passes, man?
Yeah.
What's the next game, Dwayne?
Chargers at Buffalo. The Chargers are without Casey Hayward and they're without Melvin Ingram. That's big blows on their defense.
I'm thinking Buffalo. They finally
I think Buffalo.
They got Buffalo. Interesting. They've been off for a minute. It seemed like I ain't seen them play in a couple of weeks, but I think that the Chargers. It's funny because I was just messing around on YouTube and somebody had thought the quarterback Haybear was a bust. They said he was going to be the biggest bust in the draft, and it's funny that he might turn around and be the best quarterback in this year's draft. But I got to go with Buffalo. I think Buffalo is more of a complete team, and it's like the Anthony Lynn thing. I just want Anthony Lynn to be able to keep his job and have a healthy team for next year. I don't want him to get fired. If he gets fired before Adam Gase, I think we need to boycott the NFL.
You know what? I think he gets into next season because he did the right thing by putting in Herbert, man. Like he was just like. And as much as I like Tyrod, I love Tyrod, man. I like to see, to me,
he was a placeholder anyway.
But I like to see any black quarterback, succeed, man. And like I said, Tyrod's been in the league for a while. He's had, got some decent contracts and got chances. And I know Lynn didn't want to, put him, not, bench him because of, how it happened, but. I think like the franchise and the ownership, they give Lynn another chance because he said, listen, man, you had the nuts to go against the grain, put in the rookie quarterback, let us see that our future is bright. And so I don't think they fire him, man. And if they do fire him, like you said, man, that's a travesty if they fire that man. And it's the same way. It'll feel the same way how they did with Jim Caldwell with the Lions, man, because I'm sure the Lions are regretting that decision. After seeing what Matt Patricia putting out there on a weekly basis, with that team. But
we'll see what Darrell Bevel can do now.
Yeah, they finally did the right thing. Get rid of
I'm gonna take the Bills in that game because they're just clearly a better team. They got Josh Allen and company, and they still have their full complement of players. And they're literally a playoff team that I expect to go deep this year. So go with them.
I'll take the Bills.
All right. Next one is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Atlanta Falcons.
So the Raiders actually really impressed me. I wasn't paying attention to their record, but they impressed me the way they played with the Chiefs last week. I guess that was last week. Mm-hmm. They're a young team, but they're gonna be good. So I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah. They finally gave Derek Carr what he needed to succeed. I never thought Derek Carr was a bad quarterback. I always thought he was a decent quarterback. He just didn't have anything. He didn't have anything. Out there. Any toys out there to play with. He did have Amari. We didn't have anything else. Now he has a running back. He has a running back and a kid from Alabama. he's got Darren Waller out there, who's been a surprise for them the last 2 years, and then he has the wide receiver. He has the wide receiver core out there, and to me, I think that's the only team that the Chiefs are really scared of, man. Because to be honest, they should have won. They won one game and should have won the last game. They should have won the last time they played them. So and anytime they play the Chiefs, man, like Chiefs have problems with them, because they some young Thundercats out there.
Styles makes fights.
Yeah, they're not afraid of them. So I like this Raiders team, man. And Gruden, I gotta apologize to Gruden. I thought it was a bad idea him going out there, but he continues to prove people wrong. Everywhere he goes, he just sneakily ends up winning.
Let's take it easy. It's year 2. Let's take it easy on that.
But it's year 2. But Gruden's he's a Super Bowl winning coach, right?
Yeah,
right?
Sort of. Yeah, sure.
You can't. He's got a ring. You can't take it away from him. But
yeah,
you see that
he got a ring. For being an offensive guy whose offense was horrible during the Super Bowl, but whatever.
I understand that, but you see the impact.
He got a ring.
The impact on that team right now, though. Hey, man, what are they right now? What's their record?
They are 6-4.
Hey, 6-4, and they look on track to get to the playoffs. I like them. I like that. I like them. I want to not like them, but I like them.
You got you.
The Raiders. And I'll speak on another team later, but I got a whole lot for another team. But the Raiders.
I like the Falcons in the upset today.
Wow.
I like the Falcons to pull an upset today. I don't know why. I just know sometimes, and it's not normal season, but a lot of times, those teams that come out west to east, they always play a little bit under their potential. So I like Raheem Morris and them to pull an upset.
I know Gurley's out, but Benny Hill's all right.
Yeah. So we're on to the 4:00 action. The first 4:00 game is San Francisco versus Los Angeles.
It depends, man.
Rams.
Anthony, you're gonna have to go last with this.
Yes, go ahead.
It's amazing how this team, the Rams, and I say it, they didn't get criticized as much as I thought they was when they got rid of Gurley. They took a major cap hit, but it just goes to show that if you allow a coach to have full autonomy and run the franchise the way that he may know how to run it, whether it's right or wrong, I think that McVay this year, I was never a McVay fan, but this year, Wonder Boy knows what he's doing. They are good. They are good. I like the way they're allowing Jalen Ramsey to just take a number one receiver out of there. I just think this is the wrong team for the 49ers to be playing right now. I think the 49ers, with all their injuries, even though they're getting a lot of guys back, this is the worst team for them to be playing. This just has been one of those years where Super Bowl hangover and them injuries just destroyed the 49ers this year. No team outside of them has had more injuries. They got the most injuries I've seen. So I don't think there's no way they could actually beat the Rams today. I just think that the Rams is so much on a roll and health-wise that I don't think they could beat them. But it's always interesting with them division games, so I'm going to take the Rams, though.
Yeah, I like the Rams today.
So I'm just going to say this. You're right, Q. I'm with you on that. I'm definitely going to take the Rams on this. But it's just like, I feel as a 49ers fan, I'm being honest. I'm being honest, bro. I'm you know me. Like I'm practical, man. I don't pick crazy just because I'm a homer or whatever. But it just seems that every week we cannot have our full complement of guys. It's like I want to see what our full team looks like. Like, yeah, we get Mostert back, we get Debo back. but now Ayuk and Trent Williams may not play because they're on a COVID list. So it's just like every week it's something, and like every week I'm just like, who's gonna get hurt this week? My fan dude should be one of the 49ers is gonna get hurt this week. Yeah, we get Sherman back, but I guarantee you this today somebody that we need gets hurt and is gonna be out. So I'm just like, why are we even trying to win games this season? Like, I want to be like Dwayne. I want to tank and get a quarterback. I want to tank and get a quarterback. I'm kind of mad at Shanahan. Like, I want to call him up and be like, listen, man, let's just drop these games and get the quarterback we need. Like there's four out there. I want. Let's get one of them.
We're open for business. We're open for business. All you gotta do is call Stephen Jones.
I don't want to call you. That's what we're gonna do, though. That's what's gonna happen.
It's funny, Anthony. I actually predicted that y'all was gonna be the team that Dallas was gonna trade to pick with.
I know that. That's why Dwayne keeps saying it when I talk about draft picks.
We want to swap first round picks, Kinlaw, and we want your second.
Wait, no, you can't get Kinlaw.
That's what I want, Kinlaw.
You can't get him, bro. I'm not giving them. I'd rather give you 3 first round draft picks in a row than that, bro. Like, because y'all know he's gonna be good. I know he's gonna be good, man. Shoot, I've been trying to keep that secret all season.
It's funny because we probably would have drafted Kinlaw last year, but Lamb was available and we had no choice. So moving right along, Deshaun, who you think?
He had already said the Rams.
I picked the Rams already here.
Good.
There was nothing to talk about to me in that one.
Yeah. So next, you have the New Orleans Saints versus the Kendall Hinton-led Denver Broncos. I'm all over the Saints.
Saints all day.
Who's starting? What's name starting again? Taysom?
Listen,
it don't matter because the Broncos don't got a quarterback.
Starting the practice squad.
I'm like Dwayne.
They said, but hold on, Q. I just saw Scheffler said they had him in the facilities all last night to the wee hours of the morning, trying to game plan an offense with him to be able to play today. That's going to get ugly, bro.
I'm like Dwayne. As Mr. Morris always says, Vegas is always going to make money, son. And I'm going to tell you, anybody that does that gambling thing, just take the Saints. They might set the NFL record today for tackles for loss.
Well, I'll tell you 3 people that should be ready today to have a big workload. Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay, and Ross Freeman. You may see them brothers in the wishbone, yo. You may see them jokers come out in the wing tee today.
You know what's crazy is if something happened to Hinton, then what?
That's the thing, man. Yeah, man.
That's crazy.
But it's
ESPN right now showing highlights of when he was a quarterback at Wake Forest.
They're trying.
Wait, who is this guy again?
Kendall Hinton. He played at Wake Forest. He was a quarterback there. But in the NFL, he been a wide receiver.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm Saints all day, but I'll be interested to see what Taysom's second outing looks like against a pretty tough defense. You know what I mean? And because the defense gonna have to bring it on them, you know what I mean. And the Broncos bring that heat, so I like to see what Taysom look like today.
Yeah. All right. Another big one, the game of the week, the national game, Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I usually don't pick this team. I usually don't pick this team. I'm picking the Bucks.
Oh.
Not that I know no inside information. Kansas City, that offense is like no other, but their defense, don't get me wrong, I like Spags, but their defense is worse than they was 2 years ago. And they don't get the ball, they don't turn over the ball. Thornhill ain't been playing. And and they've been getting bullied at the line of a scrimmage. That's why when Anthony was talking about the Raiders and the Chiefs, why they play so tough, is the Chiefs' line of scrimmage play has been bad this year. Just offensive line ain't as good, and the defensive line is just getting bullied. So I think the Bucs, because I think the Bucs need a win in the worst way, and they're probably more desperate. I think that the coach, Bruce, I think he needs to stop trying to get Tom Brady to throw the ball down the field all the time and get back to play action and use them running backs they got in Tampa Bay, which is weird. I just think that they Tampa Bay is going through like the coach want to do one thing, Brady want to do another thing. I think they can pick up a big win. So I'm picking the Bucs, and I know it sounds crazy, but I'm picking the Bucs this week
over the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So like I agree with you on that, but like like I said, square peg in a round hole, and you're right with the identity crisis thing. It's just like everybody that watches football, watches the Bucs, we're just like, damn, when Tom Brady throws down the field, tries to throw down the field, it's just like, oh my God, like he's just like heaving it, and it looks slow, and like like he's trying to throw deep passes to Gronkowski, and it's just like, stop doing that. like when you got the big guys, you got two big wide receivers and a great slot in Brown. So why aren't you trying to attack the middle of the field where it would make more sense? You got a 6'5" guy, a 6'2", 210 guy, 215 guy, and then you got a 5'10", 5'11", 185 guy that's still fast, and you trying to throw downfield. Like Tom Brady wasn't even a good thrower down the field when he was young. so you trying to, you're just, and that's Bruce Arians' offense. Bruce Arians, since he's been in the league, he likes to take deep shots downfield, and he likes to stretch the field. But his personnel doesn't dictate that. He can't do that with the personnel that he has. He has two old guys that that are close to retirement, starting on his team, and, at critical positions. So I think in order for them to have continued success, they're at their best when they're throwing outs to the running back, and they're throwing to the tight ends and to the guys over the middle. That's where they have the success. When they try to get cute and go downfield, that's when Tom Brady starts having 3-4 interception games, looking bad. But I'm just gonna take the Chiefs in this game, just purely because of Patrick Mahomes, just purely because of him, because he can win a game by himself. It's like the Aaron Rodgers factor. Those two guys, they can, and Russell Wilson, those three guys can win games by themselves. So.
And then the last game of the day is the Mitch Trubisky led Chicago Bears against the Packers Sunday Night Football. I just gotta go with the Packers here, man. The Bears, Bears have no offense.
Pack.
Why is Trubisky starting?
Did you not see what happened to Foles last week?
From that hit last week.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I didn't see what happened to Foles.
He ain't looked too good last week on that last play.
Oh, he got folded.
Yeah, it looked like he got hit by a train.
Damn. Yeah. Okay, that's why I figured. That's the only reason why he's started. Somebody got hurt. I thought it was like.
Yeah. I think his feelings and his body hurt from that hit last week.
His feelings definitely were.
Since Vince McMahon, they threw a crapshoot since Cutler. I clearly could see Chicago Bears, and me and Dwayne always say it. We always say that Chicago needs to try to overpay to get.
They need to overpay for Dak.
We don't want Dak Prescott to leave.
I don't want him leaving. No, but if I was the Bears, I would give him whatever the hell he wants.
Chicago is clearly one of those teams that if they will overpay for a quarterback going into next year. It's sad to say. I mean, you don't even need a great quarterback there. You need a quarterback who could throw to Allen Robinson. You got a great receiver. I mean, it's just sad. But
almost 4.
I can't pick them. I gotta pick the Packers.
You know what?
Yeah.
Like any quarterback would do there. Any quarterback would do there. You know, and it's just terrible that team is getting wasted with those two options at quarterback. Like, you know, like man, I know they're kicking themselves, and you know, hindsight is 2020, and time machines would be a great thing. But I think if they could go back to that Trubisky draft and said they would have took Patrick Mahomes with the quickness, because I know I remember in some drafts, some mock drafts, they had the Bears taking Mahomes, and I was just like, they're never gonna do that. Because Trubisky, they like Trubisky too much. And then they take Trubisky, and I know they're like, damn, man, like.
But the crazy part about it is if you're going to trade up in any draft, you have to zero in on your guy, and it has to be sort of like a can't miss, and you have to have the coaches there to develop the quarterback. My thing about them trading up to get Trubisky, it's not that they traded up to get Trubisky. Trubisky actually would have fell to them. Trubisky only had one good year in college,
Right.
Yeah.
and he's a good athlete with his feet. But other than that, he hasn't really done nothing. So I think that they would have just if they'd have just waited and not drafted, not moved up to draft him and just stayed where they was at, they could have got the quarterback they wanted. It's just weird, man. They just. For some franchises, and we've been watching sports long enough to know, some franchises just are not good at certain positions, and it's funny how it just always comes out to form.
Yeah, well, you know, the football that's in the franchise's DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the DNA of the franchise, and like what the ownership and what they like. Like, you know, for a long time, you know, with the Raiders, Al Davis just used to like fast guys. He didn't care how what they did in college or how good they was. They ran a 4.3 or lower. You know, they was getting picked up by the Raiders.
Drafted them.
They was getting picked up by the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? You know, the Cowboys, the 49ers, you know, the Packers. They were good. They were good at draft. They were good at drafting people and building through the draft. The Steelers they're all to this day. They're always good at picking up wide receivers. I don't know how they do that shit, but like they always seem to get a good wide receiver in like the third or fourth round. Like they're just good at doing that. Like, so you know, and then some teams just get lucky. Like, you know, like how lucky was it to get a Patrick Mahomes or a Deshaun Watson at like what? Like was that 15 or 20 or something like that? You know,
it's crazy.
You get a Randy Moss at 21. You know what I'm saying? Just because, or something like in the 20s, because
you're right, Julia.
Huh?
Yeah, she's
now
right.
Responding to from the chat.
She's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, so you know,
She's 100%
some people just get lucky. Look at the Cowboys.
Dwayne, you just shared something with me via Twitter from Phil Yates.
Yes.
And they had the Ravens got about 30 players, about 25 players on their protocol.
They got 22. They got 22 players on protocol. 15 of them are starters and key backups. So what's going to happen is they're not only going to be able to play Tuesday, but they will not be able to play the Monday when they play the Cowboys too.
They out 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut it for 2 weeks, man. Just cut
it. Step in, Merton Hanks.
Yeah, man. It's crazy.
I know Merton Hanks and Troy Vincent is the number 2 and 3 guys in the NFL. Please step in. Tell Roger to push it back 2 weeks. I do not need to be playing Baltimore's backups if I'm a Cowboy fan. No.
We're still not going to win because we're playing our backups for the next 4 weeks.
We don't even have starters, Dwayne. We got all backups.
But on top of that, how reckless is it looking though? It's just like
looking reckless. You're 100% right.
It's just like, man, like whole entire teams, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I think? I think people are gonna watch that Broncos game and they're gonna be like, what the fuck? And then they're gonna be like, that game is gonna force everybody to say, listen, man, like we can't do this. We can't we can't do this. We can't do this anymore. They gotta sit down. They gotta quarantine.
Yeah.
But That's it, right, Wayne?
Yeah, that's it, man. Shout out to Nate Robinson.
Man.
I hope you're feeling all right today, man. Like, your jaw, everything. Nate Robinson, don't do that again, man.
Nah, he should be done.
Does anybody know how much he got paid for that?
Not enough, whatever it was.
It's almost crazy because if you know Nate Robinson, and I'm quite sure us four guys watched him play in New York, so we kind of know his personality. Nate Robinson got a lot of pride, so I could see Nate Robinson getting into arguments with people on Instagram about him getting knocked out, and it's kind of sad to see him like this.
He should just stay off for a while because social media is tearing his butt
Tearing him up, man.
He was an excellent football player at Washington, man. He was a starting cornerback. He was nice.
Yeah.
Like you said, that pride, that athletic pride got him in trouble.
Look,
and shout out to Roy Jones too. I know you had that song. Y'all must have forgot. I definitely forgot. Don't get your ass back in the ring no more.
One thing that I noticed about the I was surprised at how many people felt that Mike Tyson was going to knock him out, and it just goes to show the impact that Mike Tyson had on this generation is that we always loved Mike Tyson and knocking people out. But the one thing that I took away from the fight, listen, Roy Jones, listen to me closely. I am an asthmatic. You reminded of me with the way you were gasping for wind. It was scary. I really believe that man was having an asthma attack. No, it's a certain look that asthmatics have when we can't breathe. He had that look. He was chasing wind. He was chasing oxygen yesterday. And it wasn't.
Well, if Pensacola tell him to get back, he'll be back.
It was within the first round. He was gasping for air. So,
but did you see that? Did you see real quick? Did you see the post fight interview?
Yes, I did.
His eyes was big, and he was like, listen, man, like, he's like, if my family, he's like, you gonna come back and do it again? He's like, I gotta check with my family.
and he scared me because he thanked Mother Russia.
Yeah, he did.
We gotta get these people out of this country, man. They just got too much influence on this government.
Too much.
Help me.
This guy. This isn't a comedy show, so we're gonna just leave it at that. But look, we're gonna close out, man. Great week. Week 12. Enjoy your Sunday in the National Football League, as they say, where they play for pay.
Exactly.
Y'all take it easy. Have a good day.
All right.